Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Dandavats pranams. Welcoming each one of you to our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So today we have His Grace Ashok Gaur Prabhu. So Prabhu, welcome to the forum. Thank you for giving your association. So Prabhu will deliver the nectar for us today. So Prabhu, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So we are doing the Bhagavatam from 5:13:3.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Shtapadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धारणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं प्रमाणमाधवं श्री चैतन्यमीश्वरम् ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् अष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. So we are reading from 5:13:3 today. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here. And before I begin, प्रभूतविरुत्तृणगुल्मगह्वरे कठोरदंशैर्मशकैरुपद्रुता क्वचित्तु गन्धर्वपुरं प्रपश्यति क्वचित् क्वचिच्चाशुरयोल्मुखग्रहम् प्रभूतविरूततृण प्रभूतविरूततृणगुल्मगह्वरे कठोरदंशैर्मशकैरुपद्रुतः क्वचित्तु गन्धर्वपुरं प्रपश्यति क्वचिच्चाशुरयोल्मुखग्रहम् प्रभूतविरूततृणगुल्मगह्वरे कठोरदं कठोरदंशैर्मशकैरुपद्रुता क्वचित् गन्धर्वपुरं प्रपश्यति क्वचिच्चाशुरयोल्मुखग्रहम् प्रभूत a very large number viruta of creepers trina of varieties of grass gulma of thickets gahvare in bowers kathora cruel damshai by bites mashakai by mosquitoes upadruta disturbed Kvachit sometimes, too, but Gandharvapuram, a false palace created by the Gandharvas. Prapashyati, he sees, Kvachit and sometimes, Kvachit sometimes, Cha and Ashuraya very quickly, Ulmuka, like a meteor, Graham, a find. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this forest, there are dense bowers composed of thickets of bushes, grass, and creepers. In these bowers, the conditioned soul is always disturbed by cruelly biting mosquitoes, envious people. Sometimes he sees an imaginary palace in the forest, and sometimes he is bewildered by seeing a fleeting find or ghost, which appears like a meteor in the sky. Purport. The material household is actually a whole of fruitive activity. To earn a livelihood, one engages in different industries and trades, and sometimes one performs great sacrifices to go to higher planetary systems. Apart from this, at least everyone is engaged in earning a livelihood in some profession or occupation. In these dealings, one has to meet many undesirable people, and their behavior is compared to the biting of mosquitoes. This creates very undesirable conditions. Even in the midst of these disturbances, one imagines that he is going to construct a grand house and live there permanently, although he knows that he cannot. Gold is compared to a quickly fleeting find which appears like a meteor in the sky. It displays itself for a moment and is then gone. Generally, karmis are attracted to gold or money, but these are compared here into ghosts and witches. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, this chapter where King Rahugana is talking about the forest of material existence to Jadabharata is talking about the forest of material existence to King Rahugana. We see the reference of this material world to Bhavasagara or Bhavaatvi. So Bhavaatvi is nothing but the forest of material existence, or Bhavasagara, which is the ocean of material existence. So anybody who goes into this forest or who goes into this ocean, it is very troublesome. It is very difficult for that person to come out of that. So it's a great struggle for the living entity who is trapped in this Bhavasagara or Bhavatvi. So elsewhere also in the Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila is talking about this forest of material existence. And also Narada is talking to King Prachina Barhi about this forest of material existence in a slightly different flavor, as the allegorical story. So here also we see it is somewhat more or less like an allegorical story where the different things in the forest we come across is being referred to different you know uh, uh, things and paraphernalia within the material life. So Jadabharata, initially he speaks about the plunderers. There are plunderers in the forest, dakait or dakus, who are always there in the material life, who are generally you will find them in the forest. So these plunderers are being referred to as senses, because the senses plunder everything away from us. They plunder away our vital energy. They plunder away our mm, you know tej. They plunder away all our physical, sensory, mental energy. So that is the nature of this senses. So that is why it is said that Nityam dadati kamasya chidram te anurayah yogina kritamaitrasya patrjayava pumshchali. So that yogi, Nityam dadati kamasya chidram te anu arayah. These are all ari. They are all enemies. Beginning with kama, krodha, lust, anger. So yoginah kritamaitrasya. He should not be befriending all these inclinations of the senses. But if he befriends them, then he is in trouble. He cannot practice the spiritual life. So it is told, Patyur Jayeva Pumschali. Then he becomes like a Pumschali. Just like an unchaste woman is thinking about somebody else while serving the husband. So in a similar way, we may be practicing yogic life, spiritual life, but our senses are carried away or taken away by the objects of the senses. So that is the situation, and that is why these senses are referred to as plunderers. And a similar reference is given in Bhagavatam, where it is told that the senses are considered as the highway robbers. So we are going on a journey, and then when we become a victim of the highway robbers, then we lose everything. So similarly here, it is being referred to as plunderers. Then apart from that, Shukadeva Goswami is sorry, Jadabharata is telling that there are animals in the forest like the wolves, the jackals, the lions, and they are being referred to as the wife, children, and relatives who suck our blood. So the animals are very much fond of sucking the blood. So they suck away all the blood of a person. Just like a person, is working hard, his hard-earned money is taken away by the family. Srila Prabhupada gives this example in his lecture, where he says that when somebody comes and steals away our money, then we become very angry, very upset, very disturbed, and we want to go file a complaint. We go to the police and we do so many things. But the same money, when it is taken away by the wife, then the husband says, "Oh, you've taken it? All right, no problem, take it." So, he'll give away, whatever, lakhs, crores, or, give away gold, jewelry, everything. So he wouldn't, feel that pain. So his hard-earned money or, his endeavor throughout his life is so easily given away because of his affection and attachment to wife, children, relatives. And the children also, they suck the blood of a man because he's worked hard, he's earned money, but it is all taken away by the children, either, in the form of education or in the form of, spending it for something. or as property, whatever. So ultimately, whatever has been earned, majority of it, goes away to others and doesn't stay with us because we cannot sufficiently enjoy anything that we have earned. So Bhagavatam says, Griheshu Kuta Dharmeshu Dukkha Tantreshvatandritaha Kurvan Dukkha Pratikaram Sukhavan Manyate Grihi. Griheshu Kuta Dharmeshu. This household life. When I say household life, I'm talking about the household life of the materialist. So, Griheshu Kuta Dharmeshu, it is actually false religiosity. In the name of trying to follow religion, they're actually following false religiosity. Dukkha Tantreshva Atandritaha. Because the whole family life is actually filled with only dukkha, but it is very nicely covered by Maya. We are unable to realize it. And what does the Griheshu do? He does Kurvan Dukkha Pratikaram Sukhavan Manyate Grihi. If he is able to remove that dukkha, if he is able to mitigate that suffering, if he is able to reduce that suffering, then he rubber stamps it as Sukhavan Manyate Grihi. He thinks that now I am the most happy person. He has so much of suffering. When he reduces it, then he thinks that, he is the most happy person. Like it is said that Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti iti Sukha. So when the dukkha is reduced, when there is an attempt to reduce the suffering, then it is considered as sukha in this material world. So that is very prevalent in this griheshu kuta dharmeshu, where kurvan dukkha pratikaram sukhavan manyate grihi. He thinks that, I have become very happy. He has all kinds of sufferings. And if he is able to mitigate it with the help of money or with his senses, then he thinks that he is sukhavan. But in reality, the so-called happiness of the body and the senses is just an illusion. In reality, it is not at all happiness. In another place, Bhagavatam says in the fourth canto, Griheshu Kuta Dharmeshu Sakto Gramya Sukhe Chaya Karma Tantram Vitanute Vedavada Vipannadhihi. Griheshu Kuta Dharmeshu Sakto Gramya Sukhe Chaya. He is attached to Gramya Sukha. Gramya Sukha is like, bodily pleasure. Karma Tantram Vitanute, Vedavada Vipannadhi. He is actually a Vedavadi. He refers to the Vedas. He performs sacrifices, rituals, everything for the sake of, attaining higher pleasure. Just like the Bhagavad Gita also says, how a person, follows the Vedic rules and regulations or rituals just to attain heavenly planets. So this person is also, he is Sakt Gramya Sukhechaya, only for the sake of Gramya Sukha, and they are eager. And then there is a reference of a black hole. In the beginning, it is mentioned that the material household is actually a whole of fruitive activity. So this whole is like a whole of what do you call fruitive work. So it is a deep dark well. That is known as Griha Andhakupa. So that is why it is being referred to as a hole, a deep dark hole, a black hole, in which a person is engaged in sense gratification. He is unable to come out of it. He is bewildered. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when speaking to Raghunath Das Goswami, he talks about his uncles, father and uncle, that is Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar. He tells Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami that तुम्हारा बाप जेठा विषेर विष्ठा गर्तेर कीड़ा सुखकरी माने विषय विषेर महापीड़ा. So he says, your father and your uncle, तुम्हारा बाप जेठा विषयेर विष्ठा गर्तेर कीड़ा. Vishaya means sense gratification. Vishtha means stool. Garta means a hole. Kida means worm. That means They are worms in a stool in the hole of sense gratification. They were actually Vaishnavas. They were serving the Vaishnavas. They were feeding prasadam to lakhs and lakhs of devotees in Bengal. But Mahaprabhu called them as Vishayar Vishtha Gartera Kida. And why? Sukha Kari Mane Vishaya Vishayar Mahapida. So they were thinking that this happiness derived from uh, Vishaya Sukha. Happiness derived from the not Vishaya Sukha, but the poison of the Vishaya Sukha. That is Vishayar Visha. So poison of the sense gratification is considered as happiness and giving a great suffering. That is Mahapida. And that suffering is taken as great happiness. Actually, they were not so, but because they were more of a Vaishnava Praya. They were not Shuddha Vaishnavas. They were not pure Vaishnavas. And in the next verse, Mahaprabhu says they are not Shuddha Vaishnavas, but they are Vaishnava Praya. That's what he says. That means they are like Vaishnava Abhas. They are not yet Vaishnavas. And there are four categories: Vaishnava Praya, Vaishnava, Vaishnava Tara, Vaishnava Tama. So like that, Vaishnava Praya is that person who is imitating as Vaishnavas, who is still, yet to practice the principles of devotional service. He is considered as a Vaishnava. So he calls them as Vaishnava Praya because they were enjoying. They were not materialistic sense gratifiers, but because they were enjoying, serving, feeding everybody, and being happy, being luxurious, the Lord called them as, uh, worm in the stool of the whole of sense gratification. Then we can imagine, what will be the condition of the materialist when the Lord is not sparing even, a Vaishnava Praya. So that is the situation. And then this mosquitoes are being referred to as uh, the envious people who we come across in our daily life in the process of earning our livelihood in some profession or occupation. We come across envious people, and are they are tormenting us. It is not easy to earn money in this world. It is a great struggle. Somebody has good sukriti, automatically the money comes through. But ordinarily, it is a great struggle to earn money. One has to struggle a lot, and day and night, he has to work hard, and he has to deal with people who are like mosquitoes, who are envious, who try to drag him down, or who scandalize him, or who do not allow a person to go up, climb the ladder of career. So like that, he has to face people who are very, very envious. And he takes great struggle, although he knows that, it is a great suffering, but he takes great pleasure in earning the money because his ultimate goal is to earn money. So it doesn't matter to him the suffering caused by the mosquitoes in the form of the envious people. So he continues to work hard more and more and more. So that way he is ready to, suffer or die at any cost, for the sake of earning money or making a career, having a status quo in the society. That's a great struggle for him. I was hearing one video about one doctor, Dr. Mohit from AIMS. They did a research. He was saying that when many patients, uh, many young 20-year-old, 25-year-old, they were experiencing massive heart attacks. He's a cardio doctor, and when uh, when AIMS did this check on them, why they were suffering, they found that they had no blood pressure, they had no blood sugar, or whatever that, cholesterol, or plaque or blockage in the heart, nothing, they had no symptoms of anything, but they were experiencing massive heart attacks, and some were dying. So they did a research. They wanted to find out They were unable to do any clinical identification of why, they were experiencing massive heart attacks. And then they did verbal research, like verbal counseling and finding out, what's happening. They were able to identify that each and every one of them who experienced this massive heart attacks, they were all going through stress, excessive stress, which, they could not handle it. So, uh, uh, excessive amount of stress in the career, or to make money, or relationship problems, and so many things. So they were not able to handle it. And it was found, they did a test on, why actually the massive heart attacks are caused. They found that although the body is, mm, like, age of 20-25, but their genetic age, like the chromosomal age, when they looked at their code, their genetic code or the DNA code, they could see that they were aged like 70-year-old or 80-year-old man, because their body was completely destroyed. Their body, their genetic structure was completely destroyed, and it was like a 70 or 80-year-old person's. And because of that, they were experiencing this heart attacks. So automatically, the high amount of stress, the pressure that a person goes through, it simply, degenerates our body, degrades our body. One person automatically ages and he is going towards death. This is what happens. So people are unable to understand that, they need to protect themselves. They need to be, peaceful. Simply by trying to be peaceful, simply by trying to be self-satisfied in whatever they have, they can easily be healthy and, long living. And, and to that, one can add the practice of devotional service, add yoga, even pranayama. Pranayama also, maintains the body structure healthy. So that way, one becomes peaceful and can live a long time. But unfortunately, that is not taught in the society. Everybody is in the rat race. So they're struggling very hard. They don't mind the envious bites of the mosquitoes, but they want to earn money. They want to experience all kinds of sufferings for some ephemeral pleasure in the form of, sexual life, or in the form of, holidaying somewhere outside, or in the form of having a big house or a car or something like that. So it's a very deplorable situation where there is nobody to guide them. In the Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says, money is sweeter than honey. Kon artha trishnam visrajet pranebhyo yadipsitah. Yam krinat asubhi preshtais taskaro sevako vanik. So, kon artha trishnam. Artha trishnam means the intense desire for artha, for money. Uh, Artha trishnam visrajet. Who is that person who is ready to give up this intense desire for money? Pranebhyo yadipsitaha. Actually, it is more dear than life, but Srila Prabhupada translates it as money is sweeter than honey. That's how it translates. So, pranebhyo yadipsitaha. Yam krinatya subhipreshtais. To obtain it, uh, taskaro sevako manik. One is ready to even risk their lives to attain. Like for example, taskara. Taskara is somebody who is a servant. Sorry, Taskara is a soldier, and then Sevaka is a servant. Vanik is a merchant. So these people, they risk their lives. Sorry, Taskar is actually a thief, and then Sevaka is actually a soldier, and then Vanik is a merchant. So they risk their lives. The merchants were going across the oceans in the past for trade and commerce, and then they would risk their life in the turbulent waters of the ocean. And the soldier, he'll risk his life because at the end of the war, if he survives, then he gets to pick up gold from the dead bodies of the opposing army. And then Vanik, a merchant, yeah, soldier, and then of course, the thieves, they risk their lives to steal others. So in the same way, we are no less. In the age of Kali Yuga, the people are no less. We are no less than a thief, we are no less than a merchant on the sea, and we are no less than a soldier in the war. Because, the amount of stress a person takes to earn money is very pathetic. It was never there in the past. There was no such thing. Even a Shudra in the past was simply happy by serving others. Paricharyatmakam. So he would simply serve others and he would carry whatever he needs. But the Shudras of the age of Kali Yuga is very, very uh, in a bad situation. He goes through a great amount of stress, and then we earn money only to be lost or to be taken away by the animals in the forest of material existence. So that is the situation. One should be self-satisfied and not be carried away by having to work hard or to compare oneself with others. That is the most important thing. And Gandharva Pura, the reference of Gandharva Pura is given in this verse. So Gandharva Pura refers to an imaginary palace in the sky. Elsewhere also Prabhupada speaks about Ghoda Dimba. Ghoda Dimba is egg of a horse. There is no egg of a horse or egg of a donkey. Like in Telugu, they say Gaddi Guddu. There is no egg of a donkey. Or in Bengal, they say Ghoda Dimba, that is egg of a horse. There is no egg of a horse. It is imaginary. Or Kha Pushpa, and that is, flower in the sky. There is no flower in the sky. The flower is only on a plant. So in the same way, Gandharva Pura is imaginary. A person thinks that, after earning all my money, now I will build a house. Now I will permanently be happy. Gandharva Pura refers to something which is going to be permanent, but it is an illusion. Because, after earning all the money, now I think that now I will permanently settle by constructing a house, a grand house. But you are left with just a few months or a few days, and then we are going to die. We do not realize that the whole life was spent in earning money. And we have seen in the past generation, after they retire, they buy a house or they construct a house, and they think that they are happy, and then they pass away within a few months or a few days. But now, yeah, the society has become a little progressive. So now you see youngsters are buying houses much early than their predecessors. They are buying the houses, probably in their 30s or 40s, but at the cost of great amount of stress. So either ways, it is Gandharva. What is that? Gandharva. Mm, yeah. Pura, yeah, Gandharva Pura. So either ways, it is imaginary because without realizing the value of human life, they are risking themselves. So this is referred to permanent settlement, Gandharva Pura. Then the materialists are also attracted to gold, and gold is compared here to a meteor in the sky or a fleeting find or a ghost. So ghost or find or a devil or a demon is the same. So why is it being referred to ghost? I'm not sure. I have no explanation for it. If somebody can enlighten, it'll be good. But yes, it is fleeting. It just comes and goes away like a meteor. You see in the sky, it comes and goes away, it disappears. It is not permanent, but we are attracted to it. We try to acquire it. We may acquire it for some time, but it goes away. It goes away to somebody else, or we leave it by approaching death. So that is the situation of gold. So one has to be uh, intelligent enough to be self-satisfied and be peaceful and not have to go through the struggle of the forest of material existence, and chalk out a plan for emancipation from this forest of material existence. So in the forest of material existence, great souls approach, they appear, they come, we have to take their shelter, we have to be, inclined towards, getting out of the bhava atavi, to be peaceful and free from this dense forest of material existence. Prahlad Maharaj also says in the seventh canto. Seventh canto is a very beautiful canto for the duties of the householders. In the last chapter, Prahlad Maharaj speaks different, what exactly are the duties of a householder. He is not like the materialist which is mentioned here. This is more for a karmi. He experiences this. But for a devotee, uh, all the duties are mentioned by Narada to Yudhishthira in the seventh canto. How he should hear, how he should be performing Shravana day and night, how he should invite sadhus, how he should take satsanga. Those are the duties of a householder. Yeah, earning livelihood is an integral part of a householder life, but it is not given that importance. It is like, yeah, if you have some time, go ahead, you can go earn something for your livelihood. That kind of understanding is given, but it is not stressed upon it. So Prahlad Maharaj says, Sukham Aindriyakam Daitya Deha Yogena Dehinam Sarvatra Labhyate Daiva Yatha Dukkham Ayatnataha. Just like Dukha is not obtained through Yatna, Yatha Dukkham Ayatnataha, Tatha Sukham. So, Sarvatra Labhyate Daivat. Automatically, everyone obtains whatever Sukha and Dukha, happiness and distress, they are destined for, because it is already predestined, so nobody can change it. By our excessive endeavor to obtain something or change our situation, we may miserably fail because it is not there in our destiny. So there's no point in endeavoring hard. Okay, someone may endeavor, and if he fails, if he is intelligent enough, he will not endeavor again and again. But he is a great fool who, in spite of endeavoring and failing again and again and again, he does not give up endeavoring. He thinks one day, try, try, try till you succeed, because great souls have told, like this Swami, that Swami, that, one should try, try, try till we succeed. So he goes on endeavoring, only to attain failure, because his greed, his lust, his greed to attain some kind of a status quo is so deep rooted that he is unable to accept that, you know, I am a failure, because everybody is able to succeed. Everybody is able to, make a career or make money or do something, be successful, be famous. So he also endeavors. He endeavors very hard, overlooking the destiny, overlooking the process of karma. He endeavors very hard. So that is why human life is definitely meant for tapasya, for spirituality, but not for material economic development. Like Rishabh Dev says, nayam deho deh bhajam to loke kashthan kama narhate Vidbhujami, tapo divyam putragayena sattvam shuddhed yasmat brahma saukyam tvanantam. For brahma saukya, one can perform tapa, but that should be tapo divyam. It should be divya tapa. It should not be tapa for sense enjoyment, or tapa for keeping the body comfortable, or tapa for most degraded situation in life, or tapa for material dravya. Not for that. Tapo for Divya, tapo divyam putragayana sat, shuddhyet yasmat brahma. For the sake of purification and for the sake of Brahma Saukhya, for the Brahma Sukha, one has to endeavor. That is basically devotional service. So, endeavor in that devotional service is the one which will uh, take us out of this forest of material existence. That is what we should endeavor for. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions, you can ask, any comments, realizations, you can please share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So thank you so much. Thank you for the very precise, to the point
Thank you, Prabhu.
explanation of the entire verse and then the purport by Prabhupada. I think you brought out the aspect of how Maya deludes people and how we get sucked into this material world and then we think what is good, but then eventually it is not good. So there were some very harsh but true comparisons that are being made here. So you brought that out very well so that a soul can realize it. And also you covered about what we need to do in terms of devotional service, in terms of aligning to the Supreme Lord. So these were some aspects that you explained so well. Thank you so much. And also you spoke of how what's that? Vaishnav pride. So even up to that, I mean, the people who are pretenders, they have no place in the devotional journey. The Lord is not very pleased with them. So not being pretentious, but then trying to truly do what we need to do is the way forward for all of us. So I think there are many points that came up. Devotees can definitely unmute and then you can share your views or if there are any questions, then kindly go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Shagora Prabhu, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prashadeshwar Prabhu, Dandat Pranam.
Wonderful. After a long time, we are hearing nectar from you.
Hare Krishna.
So I just a doubt comes my mind. I keep reading, I keep hearing, I keep preaching, but I don't practice what I'm doing. What could be the reason? I'm not able to whatever you said, the realities of life. So it's not going deep into my heart.
Yeah, true. It is the same case with me. It is the same situation with me. So I don't know how to answer. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that there are so many preachers who can preach very well, but cannot follow so well. And there are so many great followers who can follow very well, but cannot preach well. But Haridas Thakur is that person who is expert both in preaching and following. So it is a very rare thing for someone, for a Vaishnava, to equally follow, what he preaches. Of course, it is definitely the standard principles and everything else, we all follow. But, when we go deeper into nitty-gritties of devotional services or whatever we preach, so it becomes very difficult because not everybody is able to perfectly follow what they preach. So this reference is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. In the association of devotion, in the association of devotees only, we can learn these qualities, all the transcendental qualities by reading the charitra of great Vaishnavas. We can derive inspiration from them and then follow. And also, it is an opportunity for all devotees to exercise these qualities of humility, tolerance, patience, forgiveness, gratitude, all of that, while practicing devotional service in the association of devotees. These opportunities come. When we don't take it, then we are failures. Automatically, these opportunities come. So we have experiences, bad experiences or rift among devotees. That is when, we can exercise these qualities. That is why Bhagavatam says there are three stages. One is Shravana, second is Manana, and then Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is actually practical application of all that we read about, great Vaishnavas in the Bhagavatam. Yeah, easier said than done, but opportunities do come. If we take, then we come out with flying colors. If we don't take, then we continue to remain what we were before. I hope it answers. Maybe somebody also can add.
Thank you, thank you. One of the Swami in ISKCON says, Shravana, Manana, and Nidhyasana. No, Shravana, Manana, Pestana. I just send it to somebody else. I don't.
What is the third one?
Pestana, Pestana. Pestana means forward. I don't keep anything for me.
Right, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So anyone else has any other question or comment? Kindly go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Doubt. Say we have to earn. If we don't earn, we can't do so many things. We can't have a computer. We can't have a connection. We cannot hear. All these things are not possible. We can't go to Vrindavan Yatra, Mayapur Yatra. Earning also is important, no Prabhu, apart from this thing.
Correct, yeah. Without earning, I would not give class sitting here. So, endeavor, tat prayasana kartavyo yata ayuhu vyayaparam na tata vindate kshemam mukunda charanambujam. The endeavor, the prayasa, the sacrifice of time, the sacrifice of energy, the sacrifice of, devotional service for the sake of earning money, that is discouraged.
Yes.
Yeah, over endeavoring is discouraged.
Yes.
Atyahara prayasascha prajalpaniyamagra. So like that, over endeavoring is discouraged. Prahlad Maharaj says, Tat prayasana kartavyo yata ayuhu vyayaparam. Life is lost, rare human life is lost. Body energy is lost, everything is lost, and at the ripe old age we come, oh Krishna, I am yours, like a withered flower. And then we are good for nothing. We neither can practice devotional service, nor can we don't have any energy or anything. So, dedicating one's life to Krishna is the best. If one cannot, if is situated in Grahastha life, yeah, for the sake of maintaining body and soul together, we can earn something. And it should come at the not at the cost of over endeavor, but at a little endeavor. That's all.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you once again, Prabhu. And Prabhu, just a follow-up question from whatever Mataji was asking. So while we understand we have to endeavor and we should not over-endeavor, so there is this mark or the line for endeavor and over-endeavor. If you could throw some light on that. What is over-endeavoring and what is endeavoring? Is it related to our wants? I mean, if you could just highlight a little bit on that.
All right, yeah. So Bhagavatam gives the definition of, what is needed. It says, Kamais na indriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa na artho yascheha karmabhi. That means you should have kama, that is desires, to maintain body and soul. But kama is na indriya priti. The kamas should not be for sense enjoyment. Labho jivita yavata. So long to be jivita, so long keep body and soul together, whatever is needed, cloth, shelter, food, one can endeavor for that. Because jiva se tattva jigyasa, because body is given not for endeavoring, body is given for devotional service, for tattva jigyasa, na artho yascheha karma, not for artha. So that way, many in the Bhagavatam second chapter itself, many things are given about, what is the duty of a human being. Dharmasya hyapavargasya na artho Na arthorthaya yopakalpate, not for the sake of money, but for the sake of dharma. All of that. Because Bhagavatam very clearly mentions that simply by practicing dharma artha, simply by practicing devotional service or religiosity, automatically dharma, artha, kama, moksha, they are all satisfied. You don't have to go to an office to earn artha, kama, moksha. Simply by practicing devotional service now for us, or in Vedic culture, religiosity. A Brahmana is following his duties, Brahminical culture. Simply by following dharma, automatically artha, kama, everything automatically comes. But yeah, it is not so. Um, it is not so easy in the age of Kali Yuga. If you don't work, if you don't go outside and work, then no money comes. Nobody will come and give us dana. So that doesn't happen. But yes, in the Varnashrama system, it was there. It was easy. So Bhagavatam itself says that how, like Kardama Muni, example is Kardama Muni. He was sitting and meditating. He got artha and kama automatically by the mercy of the Lord, because he could easily create a huge aerial mansion, palace out of thin air just by his yogic power. And he enjoyed also with his wife. So dharma, artha, kama. And finally he got moksha also. And in the age of Kali Yuga, day and night you work also, you can't even buy a 2 BHK house. That is a situation of the Jiva of the age of Kali. But in the Vedic culture is not like that. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha is inclusive within our dharma. So just simply by satisfying the Supreme Lord, there's a verse in Bhagavatam that says, simply by satisfying the Supreme Lord, what is not obtainable for a devotee? Simply by satisfying the Lord, everything is obtainable. But yeah, our Shraddha levels are very low. So we depend on our own endeavors, our own mind, intelligence to earn. So endeavor should not be at the compromise of devotional service or dharma. So dharma should be priority number one. That is our main duty. And if you find some time in between, then that can be utilized for earning livelihood. That is what has been recommended. So that much I can share. I hope it's okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So it makes sense with respect to how we try to treat. We think material first and then spiritual.
Correct.
Devotional service. But it should be the other way around, then it makes so much of sense.
Exactly.
Automatically our wants shrink when we are spending more and more time in devotional service.
Correct.
So that way, then it kind of supports the other one. So you don't have very long list. Your list becomes very short or it disappears totally.
Yeah.
True.
We think that my spiritual life will exist only if I am materially better. I am materially, well off, or materially if I'm earning, then only then my spiritual life will exist. So that is the illusion we, yeah.
So that's like kind of the first step. And then from there, then you graduate to the next level where you realize that it's not always so. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much, Shru. Thank you very much. So any other comments or questions from any other devotees? Kindly go ahead. We have a couple of minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Near to life examples are class which you have given. So one question, Prabhuji. So basically, people feel like if they don't have something, if they get it, they feel that they get happiness. Like a person who doesn't have a car, he think that if I get a car, I'll be happy. For a person who has a house or doesn't have a house, he thinks that if I get a house, I'll be happy. But there are people who has everything, but they are still not happy.
Correct.
So how is that we can learn from them, Prabhuji, saying even if we don't have anything, by looking at others who has it, they are still not happy. So even if I get, I am not going to be happy. So how can we get that understanding and realization?
Yeah. So what you spoke is reality. But the problem is people, common man, or even for that matter, a materialistic devotee, is unable to see it. He only sees the external. I see that person is, rich, opulent, happy. I am unable to see that he is suffering. It is very rare, intelligent soul who is able to see that others are suffering. Because he can easily experience from the Shastra, from the Swadhyaya itself, he can understand that actually everybody is suffering. Everybody has a problem. There are different varieties of problems and different stages of problems, but everybody is suffering. But a foolish person is unable to see it. They don't learn it. That's why there are four kinds of people. The fourth one is so foolish that even though he is also experiencing suffering, he does not see that others are suffering. He thinks that everybody else is enjoying, but only I am suffering, and that is why he does not take any inspiration from them. So he continues to endeavor hard so that I can become like him and things like that. So for us, the real inspiration is the Shastra only. Real inspiration is from the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam and association of devotees. Sometimes, even in the association of devotees, one may be bewildered and may be carried away because you may see some devotee is doing well materially. Then we may think, oh, Krishna, maybe he has mercy, more mercy on him. Krishna has less mercy on me because I'm still a beggar, I'm living in a rented house or something like that. No, it is not like that. That is called as foolishness. And for that, if we take that kind of an example, then Krishna is showing mercy on Indra. Indra is the most opulent, but that is not real mercy. Real mercy the Lord showed on Vritrasura by getting him killed, by getting him murdered, so that he can take him back to spiritual world. That is the real mercy. While Indra, he gave him all the opulence and asked him, stay back here. So that way, we cannot, what do you call, judge, gauge, or get inspiration externally. Of course, it needs intelligence to learn from externally, but generally it doesn't happen. So that is why our real inspiration is Bhagavatam, association of devotees. Then we see the external people, whoever, is in whatever so-called good position. And then we know that they are also suffering. They are not happy. The whole, if you see, I did some analysis, mental speculation analysis. The whole world is actually suffering. Everywhere there is a problem. In North India, there's a problem, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Bengal, the border of Kashmir, what do you call, Delhi, the countries like the Middle East countries, the European countries, America, everyone. I feel South India is the most safest. We hardly have any problems here. Most safest. So, we can express our gratitude, how fortunate I am to be in South India, that, I don't see any problems here, and very easy, very conducive to practice devotional service. Externally, when we see, oh, Europe is very opulent, very, very much flourishing. America is very much flourishing. No, they are not flourishing. It is external because actually they are suffering. Every second person is a psychiatric patient. Every third person is a cancer patient. So in the US, so we can see that, and they are, murderers of Gomata, and no country can be flourishing where there is cow slaughter. It is just a matter of time. 50 years, 100 years in time is nothing. It is insignificant. So somebody may apparently appear to be opulent or following dharma, but it will not last because of the sinful activities they are engaged in. So the same thing is applicable to anybody who is opulent. They will have problems. They will suffer. So we learn, we get our inspiration from the Shastra. Then we see. Directly when we see, we may not get inspiration. I hope it answers, Prabhu.
Yes,
Hare
sir, Prabhu.
Krishna. Sometimes we feel, I mean, I don't know, please correct me if it's, I feel Krishna has differently abled us. Like one is good at one thing, one is good at one thing, like different thing. if we are happy and not feeling jealous, and if we do our job, I think we can be the happiest people. Like when I come to the temple, I see everybody.
Correct.
In the beginning, I was thinking, I don't know anything. What is this? I'm not able to do anything. I don't know to read. I cannot remember like that. But in the end, I used to feel something he has given, I can do that. What he has given, just if we can concentrate on that, I feel we can be happy, Prabhu.
Correct, definitely. Happiness is a state of mind. It
Yes.
has nothing to do with the body, senses, or the paraphernalia around us. It's a state of mind. Simply by drinking water, one can be happy. Bhagavatam says. It is said, Sada Santushta Manasaha Sarva Shivamaya Disha Sharkara Kantakadibhyo Yathopanat Padashivam. Sada Santushta Manasa. One can be simply peaceful in his mind, always. How is it possible? Sada Santushta Manasa Sarva Shivamaya Disha. Everything looks auspicious. Sarva Disha. All the directions. Everything looks happy for that person. Hmm? Why? The reason is Sharkara Kantakadibhyo Yathopanat Padashivam. Because he is so self-satisfied with whatever position, whatever situation, wherever he is. Just like a person who is wearing shoes, he is not tormented by pebbles and thorns. Hmm? Sharkara Kantaka. Kantaka, Sharkara means pebbles and thorns. Sharkara Kantakadibhyo Yathopanat Padashivam. Just like someone who is wearing shoes is not tormented. In the same way, someone who is self-satisfied, no matter in what situation he is, if he is put in jail also he is satisfied. If he is put in a throne, he is satisfied. He is put in any other place also he is satisfied. House, no house, cloth, no cloth, he is simply satisfied. The Bhagavatam teaches that. Because it is a state of mind, self-satisfied, happiness. Santushtasya nirihasya swatmaramasya कुतो कुतोन्यस कामलोभेन धावतो अर्थे हया. So santushtasya nirihasya swatmaramasya yat sukham. Somebody who is completely satisfied. Nirihasya is the translation of nirihasya is the one who does not endeavor. Only he can be satisfied. The one who is endeavoring, he is actually a passionate person. The one who doesn't endeavor, he is niriha. He is actually self-satisfied. Santushtasya nirihasya swatmaramasya sukham. He is satisfied in himself. Swa atmaramasya sukham. So like that, kutonyas kama lobhena. But those who are having kama and lobha, dhavato arte hayadishaha. They run in all directions, in all the planetary systems for lifetimes after lifetimes. So it is a state of mind. Happiness is actually a state of mind. And we learn this only from Bhagavatam. Not easy to learn by seeing others. We will be bewildered by seeing others. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful association. And thanks for all the other devotees who shared their minds, their thoughts and questions. So we can conclude today's session with Vaishnava Pranams. Vancha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की
जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। So thank you once again, Prabhu. So I'll end the session for everyone. Thank you, devotees, for joining. We'll catch up again tomorrow.